If you've been thinking of switching over to an electric vehicle, you're in luck. There's no shortage of great choices, and there are even more on the way. Now, I get that not everybody is on board, and that's fine, but the advantages are pretty stark. You could say goodbye to gas stations unless you need air in your tires or a bag of jerky. Charging could also be hit or miss where you are, but getting a charger installed is easier than ever thanks to tax breaks and incentives for homeowners and landlords. Here then are some of the best EVs you can buy, as rated and ranked by the entire Edmunds team during our exhaustive evaluation process. See more about that in the links below. Also, if you want a cash offer for your car, head on over to edmunds.com/sellmycar. Just a word up front, prices do not include state and federal tax breaks or incentives because those change depending on where you live, and range obviously varies depending on how you drive. The Tesla Model 3 is a top pick in the non-luxury EV class. Prices start right around $38,000 for the standard Range Plus model that is estimated to return 263 miles on a single charge. That's the furthest range in this class by a small margin. It is important to note that Tesla recommends charging to 90% under regular use and 100% only when needed to preserve battery life. So actual range is closer to 240 miles. Also, our results never seem to match those estimates. But those estimates can also change over the course of ownership, thanks to occasional over-the-air updates. Like every other vehicle on this list, this is no weak-sauce golf cart either. It hits 60 miles an hour in a quick 5.3 seconds, and power delivery is instant. If you pony up another 10 grand, you can get the long-range model that extends the range to 353 miles. Then there's the performance model that hits 60 miles an hour in a mere 3 seconds. There's also plenty of tech available, including Tesla's purported autopilot driving system. We're no fans of the central touchscreen that can be distracting to use, and we'd love to see Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as an option too. But these drawbacks do little to dampen our enthusiasm for the Tesla Model 3. It's the right EV at the right price. As good as the Tesla Model 3 is, you might be asking, why would you get anything else? Well, Tesla's quality control and firmware update glitches have been somewhat suspect, especially for new models. And we've documented them quite thoroughly in our long-term test program. The Kia Niro EV comes in at a close second place with a starting price around $39,000 and an estimated range of 239 miles. Though in our evaluations, we easily cleared 250 miles in real-world driving. It's about the size of a subcompact crossover SUV and is a little more versatile when it comes to cargo space. Kias are known for value, and the Niro EV delivers with plenty of safety features that come standard. It also comes with the assurance of a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. We do wish all-wheel drive was an option, but for what the Niro EV offers, it's hard to fault it otherwise. The Hyundai Kona Electric costs a little bit less than the Niro and has a range of 258 miles. As with the Niro, that range is on the conservative side. One of our editors once managed to squeeze an impressive 315 miles from a single charge. Why isn't it ranked higher? Well, that's because it's only for sale in California, Colorado, Connecticut, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Vermont. And that's too bad because it's a really good EV. We had one in our long-term fleet and it performed admirably. It hit all the high points as far as overall performance, comfort, and tech features. Like the Kia, it's strong on value and has a very generous warranty. Outside of the limited sales regions, our only other gripe is its limited rear legroom and small cargo space. The Chevy Bolt gets an honorable mention for its 259-mile range, $38,000 price tag, and its spacious interior. If its interior were nicer and ride quality smoother, the Bolt would likely have placed higher. There's also a shout out to the Nissan Leaf at the most affordable on this list at only $32,000, but that's for the base 149-mile range model. The Leaf Plus increases that to 226 miles, but also costs $7,000 more. Now, if you're looking for a little more refinement, power, and prestige out of an EV, you're also in luck. Before you start wondering why a Ford is in the luxury class, it's because of price. The Mustang Mach-E starts in the mid $40,000 range and is estimated to return 230 miles. At the top of the range, the high-performance GT will set you back more than 60 grand, putting it squarely against competitors like the Tesla Model Y and Polestar 2. The mid-grade premium model we evaluated blew us away on a number of levels. With all-wheel drive, it had an output of 346 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque, and it felt like it was capitalizing on every last one of them. It's incredibly fun to drive and deserves the Mustang name. And yes, I've owned Mustangs in my life. At the same time, it's very practical, with the kind of passenger and cargo space you'd expect from a small SUV. And despite its sporting potential, it's remarkably comfortable. To top it off, the interior is reasonably luxurious, and its infotainment system is as chic as Tesla's, but much easier to use. I was personally surprised by how much I liked the Mach-E, and I'm confident you'll agree when you get behind the wheel. With a starting price above $100,000, the Taycan definitely belongs in the luxury class, and it's also one reason why it's kept out of the top spot. But numbers prove to be pretty deceptive with this car. Porsche options are notoriously expensive, and you'll definitely be adding some to match the feature content of luxury and some non-luxury vehicles. Not all the numbers are negative though. Even though the EPA estimates range at a paltry 203 miles for the Taycan 4S, we managed to get an impressive 323 miles from a single charge. That's a huge deal. Not surprisingly, the Taycan is very entertaining to drive. It's still a Porsche after all. It continues to earn more points with its comfortable seats and ride quality, but points were also deducted for its needlessly complicated infotainment system that also experienced some glitches. The Audi e-tron's price is starting around $67,000. But its range is estimated at a rather disappointing 222 miles, so it's not a great choice for longer road trips. I also think its infotainment system can be just as distracting as the Tesla's, and it doesn't seem to take full advantage of regenerative braking to get you even more range. It makes up for those shortcomings with its spacious interior, high levels of comfort, and a long list of standard and available tech features. It doesn't hurt that it's also a hoot to drive. There's also a new Sportback version that looks a little sleeker, but its sloping rear roofline does cut into cargo space. Next up is the Jaguar I-Pace, which made a big splash when it debuted, but sort of slid into obscurity since. Its $70,000 price tag may have something to do with that. Plus, its range is only marginally better than the Audi's at 234 miles. Like most Jags, it's satisfying to drive, and its interior is a treat for the senses. We think it could stand to have stronger regenerative braking too, and past that, the physical brakes tend to be a little grabby and abrupt. Word is, you could probably get one for a screaming deal, so act fast if it's on your list. Next up is the Polestar 2. Polestar is new on the scene, but deep down, it's a Volvo. Unlike the Jag and Audi, it's more of a big hatchback than an SUV. I got to drive one with the optional performance package that adds a sport suspension and sticky tires, and it was almost as lively and fun as the Mach-E. Prices start just above 60 grand and range is estimated at 233 miles, which isn't all that impressive, but it's worth mentioning that it comes with two motors for all-wheel drive. As you may know, I appreciate strong design, and the Polestar 2 brings me joy, inside and out. I do wish the infotainment system was more friendly to Apple products though. As it is, it runs on a Google Android platform. Like the Volvo system, it takes a little longer to get acquainted with. The Tesla Model Y is a bargain compared to the previous luxury EVs, with a starting price around $50,000 and a range of 316 miles. If you opt for the more expensive performance model, the range drops slightly to 303 miles, but it'll hit 60 miles an hour in a redonkulous 3.7 seconds as verified in Edmunds testing. We also like the Model Y for the convenience of Tesla's supercharger network and its spacious interior. Like the Model 3, we wish it had Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration though. Also, as thrilling as the performance model is, its negative effects on ride comfort may steer shoppers more towards the long-range version instead. As we head into the next decade, there are plenty more EVs to look forward to. The Volvo XC40 is one of my favorite small SUVs, so it makes sense that the electric version has my interest piqued. With 402 horsepower and 200 miles of range, its mid $50,000 starting price seems reasonable. It sets itself apart from the rest with its distinctive style, and it's sized right if you don't have kids. Near the end of 2021, we expect to see the all-new Nissan Ariya debut. It should start around the $40,000 mark for a 63 kilowatt-hour battery. There will also be an 87 kilowatt-hour version that is estimated to return 300 miles of range. The Ariya's exterior styling is more graceful than current Nissans, and the same holds true for the interior that has echoes of Mercedes MBUX screens. 2021 may also mark the year of the electric pickup. The new Hummer EV is a huge departure from the gas-guzzling Hummers from years past. Even better, it's projected to have an output of a whopping 1,000 horsepower and hit 60 miles an hour in only 3 seconds. On top of that, it should be a serious off-roader, and it'll have a ton of tech, including a version of Cadillac's Super Cruise self-driving system. All of this won't come cheap though. Prices start above $100,000 in the first year. A base model will be available for about $80,000 in following years. We've been excited about the Rivian R1T since it debuted in 2018. It splits the size difference between full-sized and mid-sized trucks and has a dedicated electric motor for each wheel. That enables it to perform the tank turn, where the right and left sides drive in opposite directions, allowing it to turn in place. Rivian claims it can reach 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds, have a 400-mile range, and tow as much as 11,000 pounds. We'll see for ourselves how accurate those estimates are soon, and I, for one, can't wait. Sometime in mid-2022, we expect to see the next evolution of the current top-rated pickup truck, the Ford F-150 EV. This electric variant claims to be the most powerful F-150 ever, yet will also be the least expensive in regard to operating and maintenance costs. Great news for the many owners who rely on them for work. And there we have it. We should have more information on the upcoming models throughout the year, so keep checking back here for the latest, greatest videos. As always, head on over to Edmunds.com for all your car shopping needs.